So I don't know why people are bashing on Akame so hard. This episode, yet again, it brought the action, it brought the intensity. I know Akame isn't the greatest animation or anything like that, and the direction isn't the greatest, but this episode just really kicked some ass, and it just, at the same time, retained some elements like giving characterization to some of the characters, understanding them, a little bit of backstory, and it's like, yeah, Akame ain't the greatest, but it is nowhere near people should be bashing the shit out of it level. I mean, in the beginning of this episode, you got Bullock showing that he is a beast, and I was just like, oh my gosh, when they were trying to infiltrate into Night Raid, it was just fucking epic with him going in, just using that move. I was like, yo, Bullock, you're impressing me already, bro. And a little bit awkward and weird, but Tatsumi looks like he has a man crush on Bullock, and I mean, like, something's a little bit off if you're in the middle of the night thinking about another man, and blushing at that. Unless Tatsumi's gay, then that explains everything. And the interesting thing about this episode, while we're getting a lot of awesome action, we're getting to see the Night Raid really show out and what they can do, at the same time, Tatsumi is still retaining some things that is kind of haunting him in the nighttime. And I like how the character, even though it is, you know, affecting him greatly, the loss of his friends, he's keeping that shit to himself. You know, at the nighttime, that's when he really thinks about it, and that's when it really hits him, because like in episode 1, it kind of felt a little bit awkward after he just noticed that he lost his friends. You know, his friends are dead that he vowed to make this journey with. He ultimately was just kind of seeming a little bit cheery, but it seems as though Tatsumi is the type of character that he will laugh it off, and he will put up a smile in front of everyone so that he don't drag them down with him as far as being, you know, depressed or sad about something. But then in the nighttime, it's when it affects him. And to be honest, this episode and a lot of these episodes with Tatsumi kind of reflecting and kind of his friend's death haunting him reminds me of Kakashi from Naruto a lot. I don't care what anyone says, it just really gives me that vibe of, you know, Kakashi always saying Obito and Rin, and, you know, just really feeling bad about the comrades that he lost. And it kind of felt a little bit like a sad scene as well, just seeing his friends saying, you know, we're gonna make this journey, and their lives were cut off really fucking short, because of that little girl in episode 1. So definitely really an interesting thing about Tatsumi, and giving him characterization that he does have regret already on his journey. He just set out on his journey not that long ago, and is already filled with regret because he couldn't save his friends, and the fact that his friends' journey was cut short when they vowed to make this journey together. And classic anime element, combining the main character with the tsundere on a little journey, and she just loves fucking with him. Mayne right now, again, still completely reminds me of the chick from High School of Dead, but she has a good shot. And when she was just going in shooting, I was just like, this is the action that people love. And if you want action with comedy at the same time, because I noticed with Akame, especially with an episode like this, the characters, while it'll be a very fucking serious moment, they still are trying to squeeze some comedy around it. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But like certain elements, like they're shooting and they're fighting against somebody, and they're kind of still like adding little humor in there, a little like what the fuck type of faces. So it definitely is having an interesting element. It's not something serious. I'm noticing as of right now with Akame, it can get serious, but it still likes to retain comedy at the same time. And that's because at the end of the day, Akame is a shonen manga and a shonen anime as well, so it's still retaining some of those elements, those lighthearted elements within everything. And some good backstory on Mayne as well within this episode. We find out that she was discriminated against because she's not from this country, so you see how fucked up this country is. Another episode like this as well is that it provides some context to what's going on in the world, giving a little bit of world building that shit is really fucked up. I mean, in the middle of the streets, dudes are being executed in the middle of the fucking streets, and that's just gonna push Tatsumi's drive and Night Raid's drive even more to like liberate the country from this, because this is ridiculous. That minister, I mean, first of all, you have a little fucking piece of shit kid in charge of everything, but then you also have him being controlled by some old fat guy that is just a dickwad. So it's like, things in this country need to change, and I'm glad that while Night Raid, they are doing a dirty job, like they said last week, you know, it's a fucked up job, but ultimately they do have a goal, and I could definitely see Tatsumi, like, shit like this is just only building him up. Like these episodes, a lot of the fucked up shit that he's having to go through, fighting people and everything, it's building him up so that he can ultimately go through things like this. Like, what about right now, let's just say, for example, and I like how it's setting things up. I think at the moment, if Tatsumi was in front of that kid and it was like, yo, kill this kid, this is the final problem that we have. If you kill this kid, we can overthrow the government. I don't think Tatsumi can do it yet. we need another good amount of character development for him to get through that hurdle, but he's slowly getting development now with episodes like this, like the fight that he had to go through with him and Mine against that one dude, you know, the relative or whatever. So it's definitely building him up to that point. And they're definitely keeping a graphic nature as well, like the minister is torturing people, he has sex slaves, he's torturing women, so definitely keeping it graphic. Leone fanboy here. Leone was looking awesome in this episode, and Akame as well. As like, Night Raid was just fucking kicking ass. I love this episode for a lot of the action reasons. It just really was like they were all going in. Akame using curses on people. We learned a little bit more about her abilities as well. Like, this episode really fucking just purely kicked major ass. And then that fight with Tatsumi and Mine versus the relative of the minister, I was just thinking to myself, like, this reminds me of Goku and Piccolo versus Raditz, except he only got his fucking hair burnt up or whatever when she used that attack. And it seemed that, you know, even in this episode, there's development between them two. She's starting to acknowledge him now. Yeah, she's like, I was just about technology. So they're still keeping comedic aspects to it, but definitely getting progression, character development amongst the relationships as well. So this episode, very good episode. I mean, again, animation, I'm not going to keep harping on it because, you know, what can you do? This is what it is. And I felt like one of the things that was bothering me is I felt like whoever's directing this, I don't know if they're inexperienced or they just, like, are trying to do something different, but just the direction of some of these scenes, I felt, I've seen, you know, a lot of anime, and I can tell you right now, it just felt a little bit off. Like, they could have done a better job with transitioning from scene to scene, but as a whole, this episode just did a lot of great stuff, character development, progression, world building, giving context to what's going on. I mean, executing motherfuckers in the middle of the street. Enough said. And it's only a matter of time before Tatsumi gets a wanted poster as well, because in the end of the episode, you see that people are coming after Akame's neck now. They really want to go after her, but once Tatsumi gets a poster up there and more of the Night Raid, shit is going to get more intense for them, and they're going to have to really struggle hard to move around when that point comes. But I'm going to give this episode an 8 out of 10. I felt it was a very good episode, giving backstory, a lot of great things. It's just really those couple of complaints that I had mainly regarding the direction specifically, that it just kind of felt like the director, I don't know if he doesn't know what he's doing, or if he is an established director, then he's just trying something different, and it's kind of not working with a lot of the scenes. But let me know what you think first of all in this episode. Who kicked the most ass? I love my Leone, but there was just so much awesome shit, like Bullet showing off, fucking making motherfuckers bloody everywhere. It was just like, this episode kicked so much ass. I don't know, like, Akame was awesome. No, fuck it. All of Night Raid kicked ass in this episode. I can't pick one. And what do you think about the world that they're in right now? Just how screwed up shit is. People getting executed in the middle of the street. It's being ruled by a little kid that's being influenced by some bastard. I mean, when they took the dude out, he's like, I'll take care of your wife. Like, fucked up world. And just your overall thoughts of the episode. Akame got killed. Do you see any reason to really hate this anime like some people are doing? I mean, maybe you could dislike it, but to actually bash and hate it and say it's garbage, episodes like this is like proving you wrong. But that's all I have for this review. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed, you can do so as well. That'd be awesome. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.